Sallyacorn, a character that's familiar in the Sonic community. Back when Archie Comics was making the Sonic comics, like back in the 90s, I believe, either like the 90s, the late 90s, all the way up to current, all the way up to the 2000s. So Sally Acorn is a character that used to be involved inside of the Sonic franchise, only in the comics, only in the Archie comics, I believe. Now Archie Comics stopped making Sonic comics several years ago, and the people who make Sonic comics now is IDW. Okay, so the design you see of Sally right now is the one that was like used in the modern Sonic comics, but Sally has many different designs throughout her appearance inside these Archie comics. So today I want to talk about and discuss Sally's different designs in Sonic. Excuse me, Sally different designs throughout her appearances. Okay, so let's get started. Now, if you grew up in the classic Sonic era, um, you probably remember when Sally looked like this. Back then, Sonic was a really popular thing with all the people back then, especially in the 90s era. Like my relatives grew up on Sonic, okay? So back then, Sonic had this show called Sonic Saturday, I forget, Saturday AM, I think, something like that. Then you had the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. But there's a series with Sonic, with Sally Acorn, and the Freedom Fighters from the Archie comics. If you haven't read the Archie Sonic comics, then you know you should check them out. You gotta check them out right now, but maybe you can check them out right out there watching this video. Anyways, there was a series involving Sally Acorn. Well, she was on the series, the episode only series, first and only TV appearance inside of a Sonic show, because many years after this, she'll just constantly appear in comics. So this is what Sally looks like inside of the cartoon series. Okay, so it's the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Excuse me if I get some of my information wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is what Sally Acorn looks like in the series, and she looks like this in the comics too. But throughout her appearances inside of the Archie comics, she go through various different designs. So while they was creating this show, they had like scrap designs of Sally Acorn that I wanted to show you guys. So during the creation of the series, there was several designs that Sally Acorn went through. So here is the design of Sally Acorn that appeared to be more human-like, because she is a princess too. So I guess they was going for like a human princess apparently, but they probably turned Sally Acorn into like a Sonic-like character to fit the environment. So this is what Sally Acorn was originally going to look like. And here's the other princess design of Sally Acorn, another human design of Sally Acorn. So she has blonde hair right here. The art style kind of reminds me of the same person who made All Dogs Go to Heaven. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But you can tell they was going for like a princess that's like human, going for like a traditional princess. And we're used to seeing human princesses more than we're used to seeing animal like characters being princesses. We're used to seeing humans, so they probably was going for that at first, but then they changed their mind. Here's another human design of Sally Acorn, what she originally was going to look like. Here's another design of that, and she kind of has like similar like shoes to like something Sonic would wear, and gloves too. So they was getting close to what they wanted Sally to look like, and you can tell that they was trying to get it close to the like make the character fit into the Sonic environment by throwing her on some clothes like that, by throwing her on shoes and gloves like that, getting her close and ready to fit inside the Sonic environment. Okay, so here's Sonic and Sally prediction art. This is like the pre-made production art before they actually got the final design of Sally down. Here's another version of Sally, what Sally would look like if we didn't get the current Sally that we have today. So this is what Sally could have looked like also. And you can tell that they was going for something, but they wasn't quite sure yet. Design looks like it could fit, but it's kind of out of place a little bit. It does. That character does look like it could fit, but it did need a little bit more work to actually fit what the Sonic characters look like. It could have used more work a little bit. Like they probably wanted the character to look more Sonic, like fit inside the environment a little bit more. It don't look too different from the art style a little bit. So I get what they were going for. I see why we got the current Sally that we do now. The current design. So this character named Ricky is the inspiration to Sally Acorn's design. And so this character is similar to Sally Acorn. Um, species, they got the same species. They got the same long tail. It's a similar design, but Sally Acorn is much more detailed, and she looks like a regular Sonic character. This is where they got the inspiration from to create Sally. Okay, so we're gonna go over some designs that she had in the Archie comics, the Sonic Archie comics. We're gonna be talking about that. In this image, you see Sally with two different appearances. One, she has blonde hair and she looks reddish, and then there's another one where she has black hair and she looks kind of reddish. And then you got the one in the middle, the current appearance. This is what she originally looked like. This is her final design from the cartoon series that was made back then, way back then. So this is Sally Acorn's current design. It's like her going through like a different it's like her going through like major changes in one image. Like it's explaining or showing you guys how did her appearance change and how it became to be what we see her and what we see her appearance as in the modern Sonic, which she doesn't look like that anymore. That was the old appearance, because throughout the whole run of the Sonic Archie comics, they kept redesigning Sally Acorn. She has a different design currently. That's her final design since the Archie comics, the Archie Sonic comics is no more. They ended it way back then. So this was one of Sally Acorn's designs inside of the comic. That last picture I showed you, that's what she looked like in that bathtub. This is Sally's different appearance inside the Archie comics, the Archie Sonic comics. This is what she looked like. And this design, it looks more cartoonish, and it does look like it do fit the Sonic you know universe, but it does need to be touched up on a little bit more. It's not a bad design. So this is Sally Acorn with blonde hair. Like the last image I showed y'all with Sally, the three Sallys, this is the one that was on the side. And when Sally was reddish and she had blonde hair. So this is another appearance that Sally Acorn had inside the comics, as you can see. So this one looks really cartoonish too. Very cartoonish. It does look Sonic like, but like I said in the last design, it does need a little bit more touch up on it to make her, really pop out, fit inside the Sonic universe a bit more. So it won't look too cartoonish. But it's not a bad design though. It's very good. It's very great. I want to show you guys Sally Acorn and her kid appearance too as well. This is Sally Acorn as a child in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Okay, her designs look similar to it looks similar to her original design, but it looks more, she's wearing her princess clothes, and she has her crown and her the usual wear for the royal princess. So it is a nice looking design, and I actually kind of like it. I think it's adorable. But that is what Sally looked like as a child. There's another version of it too. But let's get back to Sally's Acorn design in the Archie comics. Back then, if you was a comic reader of the Archie comics, you'll notice that Sally Acorn has like a ton of different designs and stuff. So when I was reading the Archie comics back then, Archie Sonic comics back then, I only read like a few. I didn't read a lot because I got into the comics at the last minute and when it was being sold at Walmart and stuff. But back on topic, Sally Acorn did have long hair in different comics. She had long hair. So right here you see Sally Acorn with very long hair down to her back. I think she's much older. I think it's implied that she's older or something. It kind of looks like her adult design she has when she marries Sonic. It's like a next generation. But this design is it looks similar to the design you see when she appeared inside that Sonic cartoon, but it looks much more Sonic, modern Sonic design. Like it fits the modern Sonic design. Let me show you guys the older Sally Acorn from a different universe where her and Sonic get married. Okay, so this is Sally Acorn's design when she's married to Sonic in a different universe, and they have two kids together that look similar to how they look. But this is what Sally Acorn looks like as an adult as well. And it looks like the regular design, but she has her royal clothes on, more royal like clothes. She has the long hair, like in the other design I just showed you. The long hair, Sally Acorn, she has the long hair. She looks like the modern day Sally Acorn. It's not a bad design either. It looks great. So, with each year, Sally Acorn does does fit the atmosphere. And she does fit the universe of Sonic now with her current design. So it doesn't look out of place. It looks great. So on to the next design. This is Sally Acorn's most recent design. I remember when she looked like this because I think I had a modern Sonic comic. Like this is way before the Sonic comics, the Sonic Archie comics stopped being a thing. I had a copy of a Sonic comic, and it had this version of Sally in it. It's like a modern version, modern Archie Sonic comic. She looked it like this, and I was like kind of confused. It's not a bad design, but I am gonna miss the original design because I got used to it. And Sally Acorn was my favorite character also in the comic, the Sonic comic. She was my favorite character. I remember being obsessed with Sally Acorn for some reason. I don't know. That's when I had a huge Sonic phase. My Sonic phase is like not that big like it was back then, but I'm still, I still like Sonic. But this design is just a different version of Sally. She has a different clothes. She's still wearing the blue. has the different color scheme. She doesn't have those little things on the side of her face anymore. And her hairstyle is different. And it just, it's modern Sonic. It fits the modern Sonic era. It is like the very modern Sonic era. Back then, that was just like the middle of the Sonic era with Sally's original design. The Sally with the long hair, she fit great in that era. They should have just, no offense to this design, it's not bad, but I remember Sally how she looked, how she looked before this design. It was just much more iconic and recognizable. This design isn't a bad design, but it's modern. It's not bad, but it's just modern, and I think they kind of I guess they wanted Sallyacorn to be brand new too, or look brand new as well, when these comics were coming out back then. But what I've noticed about Sallyacorn is she had a lot of redesigns. Um, Compared to most female characters in the series, in the Sonic comics. Probably, I'm probably not sure about that, but she had a lot of changes. Sally Acorn had a lot of changes. Sally Acorn is a very unique, recognizable character in the Sonic franchise, and I think that she shouldn't be forgotten. She shouldn't be. If you into Sonic and you want like to go deep into the lore and stuff, or you want to read good stories, then go back and read the old Sonic comics, the old Sonic Archie comics, and then you can read the other Sonic comics they had too. But them comics, even though they were kind of, weird, because I had some, and they was mostly I'm not used to seeing Sonic all romantic and stuff, because I guess I'm used to Sonic being heroic and stuff and adventure-y, but in the Archie comics they made Sonic most of the time it's always romance stories. It can be action, but when it involves Sally and certain stories are romantic most of the time. But what I'm going to miss about the Archie Sonic comics the most, I am going to miss the side characters, the minor characters, because you don't get to see these characters outside of the comic, and Sally is one of those characters. You don't get to see her outside of the comic unless it's on that old Sonic cartoon series. Sally Acorn is a very, very cool character that shouldn't be, left behind or in the dark. And the creation of Sally is a story to be told, because you see that you can tell that the people who was creating Sally worked hard to make the character appealing and likable to the fans. They cared about what they were putting out, and they cared about what the fans would, what the fans would see Sally as. So they worked their butts off just to give us a good looking female character design with a good personality. So I appreciate that. But that's all for now, and I'll see you guys later in the next video.